Ever wondered why whistling indoors is bad luck? In this video, we'll explore the eerie superstition, uncover ancient beliefs, cultural warnings, and chilling tales about how whistling summons dark spirits. Whistling, a playful tune, a human sound older than music itself. Some whistle to pass time, some to signal, some simply out of joy. But step into certain homes around the world, and you'll be warned, never whistle indoors. The reason? To many, a whistle is not just a sound, it's a call. And once you send out a call, you never quite know who or what might answer. In Russia, this superstition has haunted households for centuries. Families believed every home was protected and sometimes tormented by a house spirit called the domovoi. The domovoi could be helpful, keeping your home safe, your animals healthy, your family fed. But he could also turn violent if disrespected. And whistling indoors? That was seen as one of the quickest ways to anger him. People warned that a whistle could confuse the domovoi, making him think strangers had entered the home. At best, he would play tricks. At worst, he would unleash bad luck. Another Russian layer was wealth. Each whistle was thought to blow your money right out the door. Old sayings warned, whistle indoors, and your pockets will empty. This idea became so strong that even in the 20th century, parents scolded children for whistling, not out of old fear, but out of habit, repeating the words they heard from their own grandparents. This isn't just Russia's superstition, it's global. In Turkey, elders often warn, don't whistle at night, or the devil will hear. Some say it brings in Japan. Whistling after dark carries an especially eerie warning. It was said to summon snakes, or draw the attention of yokai, wandering spirits, or demons. Parents still tell children, stop, or spirits will find you. In Korea, the belief was similar. Whistling late at night was thought to call hungry ghosts into your home, curious at the sound. And on the seas, sailors believed that whistling could conjure wind. That sounds useful, until the wind became too strong. Many sailors swore storms were called by careless whistles. So whistling on deck was banned on ships for centuries. To this day, in some navies, whistling is still frowned upon. Whistling wasn't only tied to spirits. In Russia and other Slavic countries, it was tied to wealth. The logic was symbolic. Breath leaving your body equals fortune leaving your home.
Whistle, and your prosperity would vanish with the air.
This belief shaped daily life. Merchants would forbid whistling in their shops. Families would scold children instantly if they whistled near money. Even today, you can hear Russians say, "Svisti vidom, dengi vani." Whistle in the house, and the money goes out. In truth, it was a way to teach thrift and discipline. But the lesson was wrapped in fear of misfortune, making sure people took it seriously. You might think this is all in the past, but even today, the superstition lingers. In Moscow, some families still forbid whistling at night. In Istanbul, older generations will scold you if you whistle indoors. In Japan, children may laugh about it, but still stop when reminded of the old saying. On the other hand, in Western countries, whistling indoors is usually seen as cheerful, even harmless. This difference in attitude makes the superstition stand out even more. For some, it's just noise. For others, It's dangerous disrespect toward the unseen. Why whistling? Why not clapping, or humming, or singing? The answer lies in symbolism. Whistling has always been a signal. Hunters whistled to lure animals. Shepherds whistled to call their flocks. Soldiers whistled to signal attacks. And shamans whistled during rituals, believing the sharp sound could pierce the barrier between worlds. To whistle was to call. Sometimes to call spirits for guidance. Sometimes to drive them away. So, in the safety of a home, whistling was dangerous. It was like lighting a beacon into the night sky. You might call your friend. You might call something else. Superstitions survive because people share stories. Stories of strange events. Take Moscow in the 1960s. In one apartment block, neighbors complained of a man who whistled constantly inside his flat. Harmless enough, until odd things began to happen. Tenants reported knocking sounds on their walls at night, sudden icy drafts that blew out candles, and shadows shifting when no one was moving. When the man moved away and took his whistling with him, the disturbances stopped. In Turkey, countless children remember being scolded by their grandmothers. But some recall more unsettling experiences. One man described whistling in his grandmother's house as a boy. Within minutes, the family's dog began growling at an empty corner of the room. The grandmother rushed in, slapped his lips, and whispered a prayer under her breath. In Japan, an oft-told folktale warns of a boy who whistled while walking home at night. Later, snakes began appearing outside his window each evening, as though called by his tune. Whether literal or symbolic, the tale has kept many children silent after dark. Even at sea, stories persist. Sailors in the 1800s recorded in their journals that men who whistled cheerfully in calm weather were soon cursed by sudden squalls. A harmless sound became a death sentence on storm-tossed waters. But why does this belief feel so strong even today? Science offers some answers. Whistling is a sharp, high-pitched sound. Indoors, it bounces and echoes in odd ways. In old wooden homes, with crooked beams and hollow floors, the echoes can warp, making the sound seem like it's coming from somewhere else. At night, when silence heightens our senses, these echoes can mimic whispers, sighs, or even footsteps. Psychologists call this auditory pareidolia, the human brain's habit of turning random sounds into recognizable patterns, often voices. Before electricity, people lived in long hours of darkness. A whistle in the night could seem to unleash voices, knocks, or movements from the unseen. Without science to explain it, the answer was obvious: spirits. So the superstition wasn't just fear. It was a way of explaining the very real, very unsettling experiences people had when sound played tricks on them. Psychology plays its role, too. Whistling indoors often feels wrong. Why? Homes are meant to be safe, quiet places. At night, every unexpected sound feels intrusive. Whistling adds a human but strange element. It's not talking, not singing. It sits in between. And that strangeness unsettles us. When people already fear spirits, their minds interpret every creak and echo as confirmation. This self-reinforcing loop keeps the superstition alive. A whistle feels like an invitation, and fear supplies the response. Perhaps the superstition is nothing but sound and air. Or perhaps, like all superstitions, it carries some ancient wisdom we've forgotten how to see. So the next time you're at home and feel the urge to whistle a tune, stop and ask yourself, is it only a sound? Or is it a call? And if something answers back, will you regret it?